Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Looney, and today we're diving into a strategy that I personally use to win 90% of my options trades. And no, it's not just magic. It's just risk management, timing, and understanding the game. Let's break it down. Before we get into it, quick shout out to the Discord. It is free to join. And then I also offer a premium membership, which gives you access to one-on-one coaching. I do trade callouts. I have an option selling course, and I do some giveaways. You can check it out. The links to that are in the description. Anyways, most people lose with options because they're buying risky calls or puts, trying to 10x their money overnight. Me, I do the opposite. I sell options. I'm an option seller, and I sell them when fear is high and not when the market's euphoric. Now, there are a few steps to setting up this trade, but the first step you're going to need to do is to pick the right stock. You're going to want to pick a stock that you want to own, a stock that you like, and you believe that it can go up, but you're also okay with just owning it long term. And I'm going to choose Oscar, and the reason I'm choosing Oscar is one, because I have a few trades on it, and also you can set up a similar trade right now. And I gave these to my premium members already, but I'll show you guys an example on YouTube right now. Now, the core strategy of this is to sell cash cleared puts with a lower delta. Usually you want to go in between 20 to 10, and you could choose any sort of expiration. The expiration is not super important, but ideally you do want to go about 4 weeks is one of the best ways to sell puts. You can go 1 to 6 weeks. You don't want to go super long term. So we're just going to choose 4 weeks or about 4 weeks. Let's go a little bit further. So this is exactly the 4-week mark. Now, I like to choose 20 to 30 delta. And why is that? And that's because it gives you a statistical edge. A 20 delta actually means that there's an 80% chance that the option will expire worthless. And that's good when you're an option seller, because you get to keep the premium that you made when you first opened this, and you get your cash back. So there's a high chance that you win this trade. But timing is key. You don't just sell puts anytime. You wait for red days or high volatility dips. That's when people are panicking and premiums are a bit inflated. And that's when I strike. So let's look at an example on Oscar. So we can look at both. $15 put, this one is actually in the money, so I'm facing assignment, but like I went back in the beginning, I'm okay with owning this stock. And delta changes over time when you open the trade, so now my delta is higher. Ideally, you want this delta to go to 0, and like I said, you want your option to be worthless, and then you get your cash back and you realize a gain in that premium. But you can see here, I sold it on the 2nd of July. And if we go back to the 2nd of July, it had a massive dip, a massive red day. And I chose this because, like I said, the premiums are inflated and also the stock is cheaper, which is ideally when you want to do it. And then again, this is $11 put, I opened it on the 11th. Now, if we go over here, we could see again, the stock dipped. Now, ideally, you want to do it on these sort of days, a high volatility dip, maybe when the VIX is pretty high, above 20, but you can do this trade anytime. I like to do it when these sort of scenarios, and if it continues to fall, I do more. And that's what I did. That's why I started on the $15 put, and then I opened the $11 trade later. Now, the step 2 is you have to let theta do the work. When you sell options, time is on your side. Every day that passes, the value of the option drops, and that's theta decay working for you. Now, if the stock stays above your strike price, you do get to keep that full premium, and that premium is down here, $85. And actually, let's go back to the trades. We could go to open up a new one. So like I said, let's do this $20 delta, or let's go a little bit less. Let's do this $12 strike, and it's about a 26 or 18 delta. So right around that 20 delta. Now, you keep that premium, that $50, that max profit when you open up this trade. And if the stock stays above this strike, you also get your cash back. So this is a good scenario. You want the stock to stay above your strike price. And on the other end, if it goes below your strike price and you get what's called assignment, that means you buy the shares for whatever strike price you chose. So in this scenario, I would be buying for $12. And with options, it's times 100. So really, I'd be spending $1,200 and I'd be getting 100 shares at $12. But you do get to keep that premium. That's why the max loss is a little less than $1,200. It's $1,150. So if it goes below the strike price on expiration, you'll be forced to buy these shares, which I'm okay with. And I have one up for 15. And if it keeps dropping, I'll do lower puts, and then I'll do covered calls, and then even collect even more. But you could see how much this can add up. This $50 in just 1 month is a good return. I don't know the exact return off the top of my head, but ideally you can make 1 to 4% per month. And if you annualize that, it comes up pretty high. It's about 28 or 64% you can get from just doing this 1 to 4% return every month. And I don't force trade. So you could see here, I am sitting on cash. I don't have many sell puts. These are the only sell puts I have, is because I wait for setups. Sometimes I just sit on cash, earning that interest until the right dip hits. And that's why patience is underrated. Even a day like today, I didn't rush in to any trades. I just sat on my hands, and the best trades show up when everyone else is scared. And we could see that with especially Oscar because of how much FUD it is getting, or fear and doubt. So a lot of analysts are marking it as a sell, but me myself don't believe that. I don't believe this stock is a bad stock. I believe the stock will grow. I think it can go to $20. I don't know how quickly or when, and that's why patience is very important. This strategy isn't flashy, but it does win. And I've been doing this on many shares. I acquired Riot at $9.26, 800 shares, up 31%. We could look at another one like SoFi. I acquired 400 shares at $11.29, or up 83% doing this. And then lastly, we could look at Mara. I have 200 shares, up 15%. And this is all from selling puts and selling options and just being patient and waiting for the right trade. So if you want to win 90% of your trades, you need to stop gambling and start selling options. You want to choose low delta. Ideally, you want to do it on red days, but you can sort of do it whenever, as long as you're allocating risk appropriately. And 3 is to pick solid stocks. You want to pick stocks that you want to own, you believe in, have good fundamentals, and overall, just good, solid stocks. And 4th is don't chase. You might see a lot of people posting about a stock ripping, and this is not the best time to buy. You do want to wait for a better entry. Drop a like if you've learned how to sell smart and not buy desperate. And if you want to see these plays in real time, check out the Discord. It is free to join. And then I also have those premium for alerts, coaching, and my full options course. Catch you in the next one. Peace.